Well, good day to all of our awesome internet audience. Tula Silver Sr. here. Listen, this is the day that we start our Your Mastermind Mentor webinars. These are going to be webinars that are designed. They'll start off as webinars and they'll probably move over to something called Google Hangouts. Some of you may be familiar with Google Hangouts. But these webinars are going to be designed to assist you, number one, in starting to develop the marketing skill sets and really understanding how to build your work at home enterprise. And then number two, to provide value for you so that you can provide value to folks that you're connecting with, in hopes that as you provide that value by referring them to the webinars, that they're getting some good content to help them build their work at home enterprise, that ultimately they'll want to do business with you. So, for instance, one of the things that we'll say on these webinars slash, let's just call them trainings, whether they're from a webinar, whether they're from a Google Hangout, one of the things that we'll constantly be saying is, if you are a guest with us, if this is your first time with us, get back with the person that referred you to our trainings, and find out, what vehicle or vehicles they may be using in their work at home enterprise, as a way for you to start to build a funnel, as a way for people to start to make some connections, and then ultimately want to connect with you in your primary business. When it comes to marketing, and particularly when you start to bring things online, the principles that maybe you came to understand, for those of you who come from the offline MLM network marketing world, the principles are the same. The methods are different. The principles, for instance, for years I was taught that there were 6 major steps to building your enterprise. And step number 1 was prospecting. Okay, well, that principle of having a pipeline of prospects, people to take a look at your offer, your business, that's the same. But the methods on the internet are different. It's in prospecting. I'm looking to build a list. I want to have an autoresponder, and I want to build a list of folks that I can start to communicate with and develop a following. And so, again, I want you to think of this as a marketing training university, if you will, with these mentors coming together. Now, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to start just laying a foundation of marketing and things that you need to have in place. Like I can tell you, for instance, one of the things that's very, very important, so many of us, we come to the work at home space, and it used to be that when before the internet became a large part of people building their business, they were working in a local area. They were able to connect with their local leaders. And so maybe they were going to a meeting every week, a presentation, or maybe there was local training or what have you. So it was a much more hands-on approach. Well, with the internet, one, and then with those extremely high gas prices, number two, what we started to see in the mid-2000s, 2004, 2005, 2006, the internet became a much bigger force in people building a business. And then when gas prices in the U.S., for instance, went up to $3 and then $4 a gallon, we saw a precipitous decline in people coming out to a meeting if we were doing a meeting offline. Because at that time people had to, some people were saying, well, wait a minute, it costs so much just to drive. And if you were in a large metropolitan area, again, we saw those numbers drop significantly. So now, as people started coming more online, whether it was doing webinars, conference calls, maybe even starting to learn some of the internet marketing skill sets, you don't have that same ability to touch people as you did on a local basis. Now, in some cases it's good, some cases it's not as good. Meaning this, that in your work at home enterprise, there's nobody looking over your shoulder, okay? And I hear very few people, if any, really talking about some of the day-to-day things. How do you How do you plan out your business day? So let's talk just a little bit about that. Even if you are part-time in your business, because you've got a job, a full-time job, you've got some type of self-employment, I want you to be full-time at being part-time. Make a note of that one. Full-time at being part-time. So one of the things I want you to do, and we've covered this on some of our other webinars over the last couple webinars, one of the things I want you to do is I want you to look at your schedule. And I want you to, every single day of the week, I want you to schedule time that your focus during that time, whether that is an hour on Monday, but 2 hours on Tuesday. All right. I want you to schedule that time to build your business. One of my mentors taught me that your business is not a job, but early on you've got to treat it like a job in terms of the time commitment. When you are on your job, if you have a job, then there's a certain time commitment. You're there from 9 to 5 as an example. And while you may have some breaks there, if you're doing an honest day's work, your focus is on completing your task at hand on that job. So we've got to have at least that. We need to bring at least that to our business and be as committed to our business as we are to someone else's job. And so, for instance, one of the things that I would admonish you to do, one, is look at your every day of the week and plan out the time frames that you are going to be building your business. And it may be a little different from day to day to day, but be committed to that time. Be committed to that time. That this is time I'm building my business. This is not time I'm going to the mall. This is not time that I'm taking personal phone calls. In some cases, it's not even time that I may be taking business phone calls. I may allow it to go to the voicemail. That's why on my voicemail I say, hey, if you get my message, I don't even get a chance to listen to them, okay? Connect with me this way. Because when I get focused, if I'm doing a video, if I'm doing a training series, if I'm doing a webinar, I've got the phone unplugged so I can be focused. Now, for some of you, this is going to be simple because you are more analytical. Your personality type lends itself to being more, order based. You like order. I came into your home office or I came into your house, everything is in its proper order. That's not me. All right. If you look, I've got a desk over here. It's got papers all over the place. I have to really work at this and discipline myself. So one of the things that I do is I start off my day with a list of things that need to get done. I start my day, for instance, working on personal and spiritual development before I do anything. And now, does that go to my business? Yes, it does. But my business, remember, is what? What's my business? By now, you should get this if you've been watching these videos. Your business is you and your following. So I start off working on my business, which is me and my following, because I know that as I get better, as I grow spiritually, as I grow personally, that shows up in every part of my life. That shows up in my relationship with my wife. That shows up in my relationship with my children. That shows up in my relationship to others. That shows up in my business. That shows up in my ability to connect with people. And that comes through in emails. That comes through in webinars. That comes through in videos. And the people that I am to attract are attracted to me. Those that are not meant to be in my life are repelled from me. All right, so I start off. I know that when I get my business day started, it starts with working on T. Lamont. Then I know that as soon as I have, and I know I have a time frame, that this time frame I'm working on T. Lamont. If the phone rings, it's going to voicemail. If there is a text message sent, I'll get to it when I get to it. But I'm working laser targeted on that time frame. Okay, my family knows that when I come into my home office and I shut that door, daddy's working, husband's working, all right? So then I know that my next order, as soon as I finish my personal and my spiritual development time, is to do my post. All right, to typically cut a video, send out an email to my email list, so on and so forth. So you see, there's got to be some structure. There's got to be structure. Too many people, unfortunately, are all over the place. You know, there is no order in what they're doing, and so then they don't get anything effectively accomplished. So, again, what I want to do with these videos is not just send a video to you saying, "Hey, come to a webinar," but I want to make sure that we pack each video, we pack each audio that we send out with information that you can begin to apply and help you build your business. So here's your assignment. Your assignment is to look at every single day and schedule out the time you're going to build your business. All right. Now, once you do that, so Monday is from this time to that time, Tuesdays from this time to that time, Wednesdays from this time to that time, then we can start working on breaking down what you're doing. If you've got an hour to build your business, if you've got 2 hours to build your business, if you're committing 4 or 5 hours to build your business, what are some things you're doing so that you are effective in that hour or that 2 hours or that 3 hours? We want to make sure that we're not mistaking being busy for being productive. We want to make sure we're not mistaking being busy for being productive. So we want to be productive and not just busy. Okay? We want to be productive. What is productivity? Anything that's working on you or working on building your following. Anything that's working on you or working on building your following. So is marketing, education, productivity? Yes, it's productivity, but then you also have to execute. So for instance, what I've laid out as an assignment, all right, is you hear it, that's one thing. Executing is another thing. All right, so what I would like to see for those of you who are coming to our webinar tonight, you'll see the information here at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is a different link for those of you that have been following us in our primary business. It is a different link than what we've used with other trainings. We'll be using this particular link for Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, until we start to, we'll probably convert over to Google Hangouts, where you'll actually be able to see on the screen. You'll actually be able to see, it's a more of a webcast with not just yours truly, but some of our other mentors, so on and so forth. Okay? All right, so with that being said, we love each and every one of you. We look forward to seeing you on our inaugural Your Mastermind Mentor webinar on tonight, as we start to lay a foundation for helping you to develop the skill set of marketing. Because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, once you learn how to market, remember, it doesn't matter what you're marketing. We love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours.